I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CT Review. Today is September 9, Monday 2024. Hope you had a good day today. So we had pretty much a shakeout day, but we did bounce from where we were. We're using this gap right here from in between August 2nd and August 5th. That gap is looking like it's holding as support and possibly could run up when we get to CPI this week. So with this response back up like this, because we did initially, we started just buying completely in Asia when we opened up, gapped up, and then speakered out here. But this response back up doesn't tells me that maybe the bulls ain't over with, but at the same time, if you look in the daily chart, I mean, it's all common sense for it to come back up here, only to wipe out that Friday, the 6th, this previous Friday, the actual candles liquidity, right? Which is there's all liquidity built in on this big drop, right? So to balance price out, I mean, this is just logical. This could be forming a lower high. And if it does not and it keeps going, then obviously I'm assuming we're going to be up here just to wipe out and follow the September flow. But anyways, let's just kind of run into it. As you see here, this is very key for the day outline because we have this gap here, right? And generally Mondays, they'll have this as a dangling carrot, which we're going to come rush back to. And you see when we came here at 1915 time here, you could see that we don't seal it. So we're pretty much sitting at 50% of it, like especially the bodies. If you take a look at that, this is 1 minute. But they decided to keep going up, and then they did not make this as a target. Now this is the key today. That like if you were sitting here marrying, getting down here, I feel bad for you, son. You know, but at the same time, I get it. Me, I took things a little bit differently today, and I'm very proud of my decision today. Because this was not expected coming all the way back up. So for me personally, let's just start with how I looked at the day, and I was able to frame this. I was looking for just a good move, and that was it. Mondays are a good mover sometimes, but they're also very tricky. Obviously, you don't know which direction it's going because the lack of data of the week, right? Because it's Monday. So here's what I did. So I looked at it like, okay, well, we got liquidity sitting right here, and there's no body. There's no, if I zoom in on this 15-minute chart, you'll see there's no wick right there. Look at that right there, right? So I have that, and then 930 is right here. So I have that, plus I have the midnight level. Look at the midnight level. Look at the midnight level. Look how we open up at the midnight level, and we didn't go, there's no price action below it. We didn't work below it, nothing. Literally just constantly buying. So that's also a big magnet for me, I'm assuming. Well, my eye catches it, but it's also a magnet for price, and sometimes it doesn't pan out. So, okay, that being the case, I also, what was also the other confluence of coming down to this level is that the 50% of the opening range gap is literally there with that midnight level. Plus, if you look at the 4 hour, see the 4 hour here, you can see that there's an imbalance right there, right? As Asia was pushing the price up, we got a nice imbalance on the 4 hour. So if it was bullish or bearish, specifically more bullish, but at the same time, balancing that price plus this last down candle, if you take a look at this 4 hour, if I drag that out, it does meet it. Obviously we go underneath it, but again, this is the bullish logic. But selling here made more sense if you were bullish and bearish. Let's just say you were bearish, then this also made sense for the sell. So follow me here. So I cleaned up the chart a little bit, got rid of some of these gaps that were not really even being worked. So we're left with this gap here, and then we're left with this gap here. All right, and then we have a little one in between there, and that's it. There's no, and then there's that one right there. I for some reason that the indicator I was copying, because they don't, the 1 minute doesn't show the the gaps. So I have to draw them physically, which sucks. But anyways, if you look at the week here, I also have this inversion imbalance here. So for bearish, I don't really want to see price go above 50%, which is, as you can see, this whatever color this is, it's like a darker orange. That's red. So these are the day gaps. So don't get lost here. I know it's kind of a lot of shit going on here, but what's it called? Let's go back here. So we're bumping in that, and to the left side of the chart right here, you'll see that when we're here at 9:30, I'm like, okay, I understand the levels to the below side, on the top, on the bottom side, and on the top side, what do I have? Well, I have this. If you watched Friday's video, I literally was telling you that we should be coming back up here. We should be coming back up here because we broke right through it. I mean, just like when we broke through this last week's low, and we popped up and we cleaned that price for any breakout traders. Well, this is the same idea here, right? So coming up to this level at the minimum with this imbalance right here, I'm not going to draw this out, made sense. So I did see us going into a slow grind up with us. I mean, I really thought we would have been bearish, but it's Monday and they love to fucking play around. But so as you see here, we push up and we tag. So 9:30 opens up right there, and we're sitting in that imbalance, right? We're already sitting. The price dips into that imbalance right there. The opening range is now established right there, right? And sure enough, the price couple drives up and then tags the bottom of that opening. Of that inversed imbalance on the weekly chart, not daily, weekly, right? So with that being the case and hitting it greatly like that, I decide to get in the trade. Why? Because I have now look to the left of the chart on the 15-minute. I now have dipped above this liquidity right here, and we're sitting inside some of this imbalance. And if it's heavy, I expect it to respect and come down. Yes, there's an opening price gap here, like still remaining. So I did know that was a risk. This was me being impatient. And it is what it is. So obviously a failure there. So after that, okay, that's fine. One drive up, another drive up, another drive up. So now when let's just say this drive, I explained this. Now this drive is just really floating. So I'm not respecting this. We have a nice imbalance here. I expect price with this imbalance, which is the 950. If I expect this to hold, if it's going to keep going up, which it does. So it wicks down. It doesn't respect it fully, but the body stay on the top side of the 50% of it. And then, sure enough, if it was going to be selling from here, I would have liked to have seen it come underneath, right? This 50%, but it did not. So another drive up, retraces back, and then when I see this double top here, I do get in this trade. I try it for this trade. Sure enough, I know that we're dangling this carrot right here, and we did not seal that price yet. So I said, okay, let me take it. Did make sense for me at the time. I know where we're coming. My number one goal is to get to this 50% here. That's my number one goal. My second target would have been here, but that came after knowing what the projection was and the break, which I'll show you in a second. But so price shoots up again. So I'm like, okay, look at this big tough candle. I'm like, yeah, I know what time it is. Then this next candle, this 10-11, all right, 10-11, smacks the bottom of those two consecutive candles on the 15-minute chart. If anyone's wondering why the 15-minute chart is important, that's because of this. The 15-minute chart is very is generally accurate and works very well for levels like this. So as you see these two up candles, see that? And then we tag it to the tick, right? So as soon as I see that to the tick and the price is coming down here, I'm in the trade. Now I take it. This is my third shot right here, and I'm like, bro, I'm not losing this one. But I also have a little peak here that's sitting on the overbought, so it's not like it's rambling in here. This is all this bullshit wicks, right? Trying to let you look at this 50% or whatever of the wicks. But anyways, nice shoot down, and then it slithers. Look at that. Look how it slithers like that. See that? all small candles. So they lock you out of this price here. And then you could see that there is a imbalance here on, I'll draw it now. You'll see right there, right? Can you see that? I know there's a lot going on here, but it's not that complicating. And then obviously this purple is that gap that we were sitting in here on the daily in between the August 12th and the 13th, right? So I'm looking to see also if that's going to be used as support or inversed as an imbalance. I mean, as an inverse level, because as we come down this way. But here you get the little imbalance right there. I was very confident in what we were doing, and when I seen it tag it perfectly to that level, I was in it. And we had already, if you look at this 15-minute chart, we had already sealed all that price. And if you look at the 4-hour, let me zoom in a little bit for you. If you look at the 4-hour, we also sealed price at this point. Before we came back up, this point you can see that we tag the bottom also of this big ass candle. So there's no more imbalance in this 4-hour, but the 1-hour isn't. So I know, and that's what sucked for me. But as you see, the 1-hour, we had a space in between still, right? So anyways, when I saw the 4-hour sealed and I saw us coming specifically to the bottom of these two up candles on the 15-minute, on the 1-hour, it's that one candle right there. You see that? You can see it right here, this one. But as soon as I seen that, I'm in it. I got it. It was a good trade. Is it risky? Sort of, but I was confident in where we were going. So where did we go? We came down here. We rushed, and then we had this imbalance. Remember we were talking about this one, this 950. Well, then we turned around and used it as an inverse and dragged it out. You can see we tagged 50%. It's a control of price at this moment where it doesn't go above, and it's just slithering down. Order flow using these up candles, the 1022, and then we're using that 1022 as a supply block. We push down. We're at the opening of the today, and then we slither down again. Another imbalance right there. We tag in it slowly, which is right there. We're also sitting in the background of that gap right there, and we're tagging that area, so it's not really pushing up any higher. And then we're just on our way. This is just basically a sell model right here. So original consolidation, pull up, and then retrace all the way back to wipe out liquidity. And then what do we do? So we got to the 75% of the opening range up top. Then we got to well, you can call this the first 25%, I guess. And then what do we do? Well, we rush for that liquidity that I mentioned, plus that no gap on there. And I was really gunning for this right here, right? So what does the price do? It comes right here, and then it rushes through, takes out that liquidity. I'm still holding it though. I'm holding it for this level, actually, specifically the -2, because now at this point I have my I know my projection, right? So I'm using this swing high to low right there, and I'm projecting out, and I want to go to -2. -2 is matching also with the gap right here, so you'll see that really nicely, and obviously here. So for the ones that again, I don't know how I'm not going to not show trades, but I mean at the same time, I want to show this only because whatever, I don't know. So anyways, so you see coming -2 right here, beautiful. I'm taking this screenshot. I'm done. I'm taking out the trade. I'm actually done for the day. It's 11 o'clock. I'm literally, so when 11 o'clock strikes, and you see it's 11 o'clock and 9 seconds. So this candle right here is literally the 11 o'clock new 1 minute candle of the 1 hour candle. That's okay. So when I see the -2s right here and then the gaps right here. So I'm like, and I was about to take it out right here. And I was like, no, wait an extra whatever seconds for the 1 hour to roll out, because if it's bullish and it changes directions, I know that they'll create a little wick. That's exactly what they did. I can't make this shit up, man. That's that wick right there. So when I see right here, this 11 o'clock, see how it wicked and it came back up? I didn't know it was going to do this, but if it came up and tried to wipe out liquidity, even if it's bullish or bearish, that we would see a little wick and pop up. So sure enough, I'm catching that right here. That's that wick right here. And that was my logic. And sure enough, it panned out. But as you see, we dip in and then boom, I'm done. And then we end up coming down one more time. But my goal was this high probability area. So even when it got to the 50% here and the gap of the 4-hour imbalance and the midnight level, I still held on. I held up for one more row, for one more leg. Leg. So sure enough, worked out beautifully. As you can see, everything's outlined, everything I just discussed. And then you can see this candle here. Big fucking trade, man. But I had a rough start. Let's put it that way. So I wanted to be done. And as soon as I took this trade out, bro, I was like mentally like exhausted. It's Monday and it's just whatever. But as you can see, this up candle here, this 1031, you can see we're digging up and never breaks that price. That's a controller price right there. And then I highlight this candle, this 1034. Once we come below it and we come underneath it, we're digging into that 1034. It's dragged out. Let me drag it out even more. And you can see price is pretty much holding there. Well, this was debatable using that level 2 as well, the body of that candle. But this one made more sense since this was the highest wick and the body is almost the highest. But anyways, it's not a big deal. But holding the price in, and then you see this inversion. I'm sorry, this regular imbalance right here. I'm talking way too much, man. I cannot make short videos if I just describe fucking everything. But you see that, and then you can see this bearish imbalance, this 1058. You see how we're digging into that, nicely containing it, and then they do run for another leg here. So like on a 5 minute, which was yo, let me tell you something. The 5 minute was so on point, and look at the RSI. Oh my god, man. Look at this, bro. And then another reason I'm taking this sell here, I got the 3 drive. It's clear on the 5 minute here, even though this was definitely 4 drives. So 1, 2 with that wick, 3, then 4. But you can see only 3 here. See that? Incognito. That's how they do it, right? But I know we're bumping. This is the 3rd time that it's bumped like this. And could it have kept going? Sure. But at the same speaking, this is a high probability. And then guess what happens? Dude, the price comes down. I get out. I got out right here. Okay. And then as you see here, we have a divergence here on the 5 minute, but we're on the oversold. Here it's tagging damn near 3 times. But look at this beautiful buy back up, man. Yo, bro, like beautiful buy all the way back up. And if I was to have been involved, I would, if I have took this trade, you can see the drive is definitely more clear on this 5 minute. See 1, 2, 3 right here. See that? Definitely more clear. I mean, on the 1 minute, you can't see that, but on the 5 minute, it's very clear. Sometimes the 15 minute is also good, but you have to be very volatile to have up and down movement or extend in the long price. Price has to extend for a while to use the 15 minute more, but the 5 minutes, sometimes that's that sweet spot. You can see that we have the drives there. And then as you see, it's like just gone, right? But if I had took this trade here and I understood where I was, I would have took it to 2 places. I would have took it to this imbalance right here, right? I would have took it to this imbalance right here, which is this 1030 candle. And then if you look right here, once this 5 minute chart, this RSI gets to like 50%, like that it might stop and turn back down, right? So this area, and it made sense for this gap. So this gap bouncing back to this gap, this price is pushing down. To keep it simple, bro, like they got this liquidity, they pushed it up, they created liquidity here and here, so they push it back down. It's a speaker. I mean, you guys can see that, right? So the speaker pushes up to the top. So this is why I say the bulls ain't done for this type of response. And now look at the fucking end of the day. We're back up here again. Yeah, man, I don't know. That shit to me don't tell me that this is coming down right now. But CPI should be interesting. CPI might, if we end up being, well, let me wait. Just give me a second. So with the logic here, when we're coming down, it's a nice speaker there, right? Because you can see it even when, let me move it like this. When we were up here like this, when we push all the way up, I could see the speaker. See how it dropped back right here like this? See how it pulled back and then pushed up? Like to me, I could see that possible speaker forming. So sure enough, it came back down. Beautiful. But this is why I took it out here. And it was a very fucking good decision. Because look what happened. So as you can see, the -2 right there, pushed all the way back up, clean. Now, again, if I took this buy, I would have took it here at the minimum. That would have been made. That would have made sense to wipe out the easy liquidity sellers here, breakout traders, plus the balance price, plus to just wipe out people. And then the next level, if you were to have held, if you were like, nah, I'm not taking it out until I see it hit on the overbought, right? You would have been up here, right? I would have took that shit out as soon as it got into this wick. If I was like trying to do that and I got into trade, but I wasn't even involved. So, I mean, I'm happy I wasn't involved, but at the same time, yo, that shit right there. Because the probability, it can, from here, it can go and do, when the price gets down here, it's going to do two things. It's either going to keep going down or it's going to retrace back up. And when it gets here, what's the next probability? It's either going to come down or it's going to keep going up from here. Correct? So understand. So when I tell you I have multiple ideas, that's a good and flexible thing. I'm not married to nothing anymore. I used to get married to things a lot, and then now I really don't. But I still have good biases, and like for example, when I took the sell here to here, I'm married to it. I was married to it, but I was confident in that. But when I get here, I don't know what's going to happen. Now, once the price gets here, again, it's either coming down or it's going to push up from here. Okay, and then guess what happens here? What are my ideas? The probability of it when it gets to here? It's either going to fucking keep going up, or it's going to raid and retrace back into the range that it created from this high to low. And look at this, 50% is sitting right back here again, right? So, this looks like a 70 on the chart. There's no way to make videos short. I mean, look, if you think someone's going to teach you something in 10 minutes, it's not going to happen. They ain't talking everything. Maybe I'm just, see, look. 70. I guessed that. I didn't even I didn't even know. I literally can see it. That was the 70 on this. Hit it perfectly and shot the hell up, man. Maybe I shouldn't have gave up earlier in the day, but I was just this right here exhausted me and I was tired. But anyways, as you see, look at the 15-minute chart. Once we bounced on that gap, we came back up. And then we retrace back. Look at the bodies literally sitting inside that gap right here. 15-minute, boom, took off, right? On the 1 minute, obviously it's clear, it's color out the lines, but it's a 5 minute though. So, man, there was something else I wanted to mention though. What was I gonna say? I forgot, man. I was really tired to do this video, to be honest. 22 minutes. Fuck. So, and before I stop looking at this screen here, when I caught these two trades yesterday, so make sure you watch Friday's video so it makes sense. When I caught this buy and this sell, the piece of confluence that I had was this gap right here, right? But I also had the -2.5. I don't think I mentioned that. But if you draw from this swing to this swing, and it's drawn out, and you project it, the 2 and the 2.5 is here, and the price ended up sitting right back at that 2.5. That's what made me push it from here to here. But then the news came out and it was just really quick. But anyways, so also another confluence of why I sold here, by the way, is because I did this projection from here to here, right? And look at the -1 right there. So we reached a full standard deviation, -1. And that's another reason why I was like, yeah. So I pulled the trigger. Phenomenal fucking trade though. But, whatever. So that's been all mentioned. Yeah, this is going to be a dangling carrot for sure. And then what else am I trying to say? Well, I'm done with that. So take a look here. You'll see that also the confluence here. We pushed down, and then another reason why I wish I had bought this right here was because we did make higher lows here with Dow, and then we had lower lows with S&P and NAS. So originally when we bought up at 930, these lower lows right here, this is also what helped me understand that we were going to be pushing up, but I wasn't about to buy from up here. So, yeah. So I hope that makes sense. So yeah, this is initially the idea that pushed it up because they had lower lows here and then higher highs. I mean higher lows here with S&P and NAS. So that pushed us up, and that I didn't want to fucking try to buy there. So I knew I was looking for a big sell. So pretty much dump then pump, right? So accumulation, manipulation, coming down, distribution back up, and there was something else I wanted to mention, man. Fuck. And then I don't know. Dollar woke up a little. I don't know, bro. This is just getting a little weird, but I will say that I don't think the top side's done, bro. Take a look here. They bounced, they came pretty deep there. It does look like the bearish activity is respecting, but again, I wanted to mention this in September. If you look to September, and if you take a look here, remember. So this is what actually, see this pattern right here. See this fucking, see this, this is September, and this is Dow, and look at this picture here. See how it pops up, comes back down, and then sells. See, so this is the same idea of what I've been trying to say. You see this January, you see this September. Where is September 1st? And I told you it was a speaker, right? This is what I've been trying to say in NAS. So September is right here. September 1st. What did it do? We came all the way down, and then we come up. All right, and it's the 15th now of September, and then we come down for the rest of September. See that? See that? You see that? So this pattern right here is very strong in September. So now that you've seen that, take a look back and take a look back here, which that would mean for us here. Look, this shit doesn't look like it's done. This shit don't look like it's gonna necessarily come back down for these lows right now. So if you look at this, this is what I was trying to say. So here, now we have the same logic. We have September. Where is September? Right here. What did we do? We came down. And if they push up price, it doesn't seem like they're going to make it up here. But in general speaking, it would do something like this. Did you see that? Did you see how I did that based off of that price pattern? So I don't know. I just don't think. I think how would you really mess up the market? Shoot up, because the sentiment is bearish. But we have rate cuts on the 18th, that they might do rate cuts on the 18th, so blah, blah, blah. But that response right there, and you could see this 4 hour, you can see that imbalance right here, this candle coming down. It looks like it's containing the entire price action as an inversion imbalance, and it might hold, and then we push up, right? So I don't know. I don't feel like they're gonna come down in September without taking out this liquidity. Fuck this high right here. I'm not concerned about that. But here, I just feel like I don't really think they're gonna come down without taking this out. Let's put it like that. So I don't know. I think I've said enough here. 28 minutes. Now I don't even know how to make short videos. And then and look at this. Look at this. This just, for me, this shows a lot of strength. And I was saying that this could be the end of the road. They got into this nice balanced price range from this swing. See that? Down, up, and we came back in it, right? Oh, if you take a look here, you could see also that and this is NVIDIA, obviously. The open of that last down candle is the same level there. See that? So this might be a nice support, and we might go for a big run up, because if they cut rates, I'm expecting. That's why I've been trying to tell everybody that we're supposed to see a big push up. We might see if they cut the rates in the 18th, and we might see a big buy for 30 days. 30 days will buy up, after whatever they're doing, and then they come down. So I'm exhausted. I'm actually might even go take a nap, bro. I'm tired as fuck. Um, so I have, yeah, I pretty much talked about everything, and you guys take care and God bless.